tea here. Alright, let's do this. Here we go again on a Friday, the 13th. Jason. Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your 5 senses work. Health and strength is good or excellent. What? On a Friday. What? Alright, you know. What I got for you gamers? Alright, listen to this. In the words of Vulcan Raven from Metal Gear, the judgment has been decided. Listen to this. Activision Blizzard deal cleared by CMA at last. Okay, the deal is cleared. Good. Because look, news of Disney getting into the game industry now. I guess that has something to do with it. Probably has something to do with it. But to me, they never. But to me, the CMA, the CMA, the CMA, the UK, they never really had anything on Microsoft, really. And so is the FTC. So they really didn't have anything. I mean, one of the words I hear them use, they say the lesson of competition. Just because you buy a game studio, it doesn't mean that the game industry stopped moving. It keeps growing and expanding. So yeah. One thing I didn't like about this is that, you know, Microsoft got Ubisoft involved in this, and then now they had to give up the streaming rights, sell off the streaming rights to Ubisoft, and then you got the CMA telling Microsoft they can't purchase Ubisoft within 15 years. So I don't like it. I mean, because you know Ubisoft got their games they need to bring out. You know, whether it's Beyond Good and Evil, whether it's X Defiant, Division 3 that they're working on. They got Star Wars, the Star Wars game that they're working on, and then there's the Skull and Bones situation. So Microsoft getting Ubisoft involved in this, I don't know. Maybe something will come of it. We'll see as time goes on. But yeah, to me they never really had anything. You know, Microsoft just beat everybody to this. You know? If Microsoft didn't get Activision Blizzard, then probably Tencent would have done it, or Google, or Amazon, anybody. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. The FTC, I mean, they got grilled in court. You know, they really got grilled in. They got grilled in court. They never had a case. You know? The judge gave them 8 reasons instead of 10. You know, so yeah. Anyway, listen to this. Says here, the Activision Blizzard merger has been Microsoft's most ambitious endeavor in gaming industry, with a $68.7 billion in investment. This merger has lasted for nearly 2 years, but the end is finally here. While the CMA and Microsoft last major hurdle, it has finally cleared the deal. This announcement comes after the UK regulators provided provisional approval not too long ago. Why it matters? All the major regulators, a part of the CMA, had already approved the Activision Blizzard merger. Therefore, Microsoft is now free to close the deal. And then it says here, we've cleared the deal for Microsoft to buy Activision without cloud gaming rights. In August, Microsoft made concession that would see Ubisoft instead of Microsoft buy Activision cloud gaming rights. Says here, making the official announcement, the CMA put forth one condition. The UK regulators want Microsoft to complete its deal with Ubisoft before the merger is finalized. For the unfamiliar, Microsoft recently partnered with Ubisoft for cloud gaming streams of Activision games, which helped the gaming giant convince the CMA to earn this approval. Nonetheless, all hurdles removed, Microsoft is likely days away from announcing the merger. This transaction will improve the first-party lineup of Xbox and ensure gaming giant is able to compete in the mobile market. Activision Blizzard games are also expected to make their way on Xbox games, Xbox Game Pass soon, but the latest will not arrive until 2024. It says, wait, was that the latest? Hope I got that right. Hope I got that right. Say, yeah, the latest. Anyway, let me keep going here. It says here, we are glad this long saga is finally over. The Activision Blizzard deal has led to a lot of back and forth between gaming giants like PlayStation and Xbox, but its conclusion should allow both to focus on improving their game lineup and improving more quality experience for their players. And says here, is that it? Oh, yep, that's it. Oh, wait a minute. It says here, this announcement marks a big moment for Microsoft and Xbox. And it says, the company has spent the last few months struggling against the FTC in court and trying its hardest to complete the transaction. With the merger now more or less complete, Xbox has hopes to become a force to be reckoned with in the game industry. They trying to use my words, a force to be reckoned with. Anyway, well, that is the end of that article. You know, Sony missed out on a big opportunity here too. They did. They missed out on a big opportunity here, because when Microsoft was offering Sony a 10-year offering a deal, AT&T had Rocksteady, NetherRealms, and WB Games on the table for $5 billion. Now, NetherRealm Studios is rumored supposed to be working on a Marvel vs. DC fighting games. I'm sure there's some hurdles they got to clear before that comes to the light. But then there's WB Games with DC Universe, Gotham Knights, Batman Arkham Origins, and the Blackgate series. And then you have Rocksteady with Suicide Squad, Killer Justice League, Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. Those three studios was on the table for $5 billion. And Sony missed out on that. So you got the rights to Spider-Man, right? Imagine if they would have had the rights to Batman. That means every Batman game would have been coming to PlayStation. They missed out on that. They got so caught up in Call of Duty that they didn't see the another prize to collect. Just saying. So they missed out on that big. But they tried to play what's that, hardball with Microsoft, and talking about they didn't they don't want a deal. Their goal is to block the deal. And then when the FTC lost in court, all of a sudden now you want to take a 10-year deal. Just saying. So yeah. But other than that, man, Microsoft Microsoft did no wrong in this. All they did was purchase Activision Blizzard. They got ZeniMax Bethesda first, but Activision Blizzard was up for grabs. You know, once news broke that Facebook name got involved, and Microsoft knows what Facebook brings to the table. So you can go back to the cover of Wired magazine before the pandemic, when they had Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg on the front cover. Microsoft know what Facebook bring to the table. So soon as their name got mentioned, a sense of urgency just kicked into overdrive. Like, we got to do this now. And it's like Phil Spencer like running back to the heads at Microsoft, talking to him about this deal. And they're like, okay, go get him. Okay, take $68.7 billion with you. Go. Done. So yeah, they had to do this, you know. So you know, I mean, because Game Pass is a monster itself. So yeah, Microsoft was just they had to seize it. you know, to take care of Game Pass, you know. So yeah, and all those users on it. So yeah, um, and they went through some hurdles, and the CMA talking about the lesson of competition. Look, Sony was buying studios while Microsoft was going through this trial behind the scenes. So that can't be the lesson of competition. And then you got Sony again with this game called Helldiver. Helldiver is like Anthem without suits. You know, it just shows that it just shows that Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard doesn't stop competition, man. So yeah, but other than that, man, they beat everybody to this, you know. So yeah, and now they get to do what they do, you know. But with Ubisoft now involved, and then they got their games they need to get out, and then you took on this load now of like doing the streaming service for Microsoft. We'll see what comes of this, but yeah. But other than that, man, that was good on their part, man. Phil Spencer was a man on a mission, man. When he came in, man, I remember when I got my Xbox One, the amount of updates I seen that system get, man. Yeah, and the way the games were coming in, that little system that they got, that Microsoft had set up, you know, when they have like This Week on Xbox every Friday, that really helped a lot too. But when they but when Sony showed their PlayStation was showing their PlayStation 5 for the first time, Phil Spencer used This Week on Xbox and kill all that noise. So yeah, you know, that This Week on Xbox was the longest This Week on Xbox I've ever seen, man. So yeah, it was like a chess move by him too. You know, so Sony was like, it was like the Friday, Sony was gonna, I think the Thursday, Sony was about to reveal. Actually, no, it was a Friday that Sony was about to reveal the PlayStation 5. Microsoft took This Week on Xbox and said, no, Phil Spencer took This Week on Xbox and was like, you guys are not saying anything. We got games over here. That's what it said to me. I was like, and I'm sitting there watching it. And I'm like, man, this is the longest This Week on Xbox I've ever seen. And then when I sat there and realized what Phil Spencer just did, man, yeah, that was a good chess move, man. But yeah, you know, it was fun. It was fun. It was really fun playing games on Xbox One, man. It was really fun, you know, under Phil Spencer's supervision, because that console, I mean, they might have messed up in the beginning, but Phil Spencer came in like, nah, we gonna keep pushing, and they did, man. So yeah, he took care of business, man, and yeah. But man, I mean, buying ZeniMax Bethesda is one thing, and I'm still trying to get over that. when they bought ZeniMax Bethesda, but then you came back and then you bought Activision Blizzard, man. Whew. Yeah, that was big, man. But yeah, yeah, Microsoft is a force to be reckoned with in this game industry, man. They are, you know, and they did it the right way too, you know. I mean, they started off in PC with their flight simulators and all that, you know. But then they came to console, you know. Sega gave them the keys, yeah. And they took the car and drove it. Came in with an original Xbox and Halo, and didn't look back, man. Yeah. Xbox Live didn't come out on the 360 first. Xbox Live came out on the original Xbox. Yeah. They dropped Halo 2. Halo 2 was too big. Yeah. Yeah. But still, man, they kept pushing, man. Yeah. It's like whatever problem, it seems like whatever problems came up with Xbox, Microsoft didn't dwell on it. They kept moving. They just like this. They just kept moving, man. So it's like, yeah. you know, the Xbox 360 got the red ring of death. Microsoft didn't sit there with their heads down like this. They just kept moving. Yeah. They kept pushing and kept moving and kept pushing and kept moving. Yeah. Then the Xbox One came around. They messed up again. Okay. Phil Spencer is like, and so they kept moving, man. So yeah. Then the Xbox Series X. So they went on a mission. They went shopping on the Series X, boy. All them studios they acquired. Oh yeah. they just kept moving, man. So yeah. They didn't dwell off of a mistake, man. They didn't sit there like and let the problem drag them down and all that. They kept moving, you know. But one thing I didn't, when Phil Spencer said the console race is over, to me the video game industry is about consistency. You have to be consistent. To me, the video game industry is about consistency. And I mean, when Xbox came into the game industry, when Microsoft came into the game industry with the Xbox, they knew Sony had a head start already. They already knew that. They knew they were the underdogs. They're like, okay, we're not gonna sit there and like dwell on your big user base and all that. We got to keep moving, and that's what they had to do to stay successful. You know, they knew that they had a big hurdle to overcome, but for them to stay for Microsoft to stay successful as a whole, they had to stay consistent. Oh yeah, and whatever problem come up, they never kept dwelling. They fixed the problem and kept moving. They fixed it and kept moving, Another problem come up, fix it, kept moving. Yeah. And when they saw their opportunities, they just they went straight for it. I mean, ZeniMax Bethesda was a stealth. To me, ZeniMax Bethesda was a stealth drop. Was a shock. How they did it, you know. And then when you read about how long it took them for them to get it done, man, 3 years. Yeah. And then Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard was they were just stunt. You could say they were just stunting or flexing. You could say they were just stunting and flexing. Like, okay, really? Oh, Facebook, really? Okay. We got to get on. We got to do this now. Done. So yeah. Well, that's Microsoft for you, man. So man, them buying Activision Blizzard, it doesn't stop the game industry from growing or moving, man. The game industry is going to continue to grow, you know. Continue to grow, continue to move. There's there's plenty of games to be made. You know, yeah, consoles are going to get powerful. Yeah, more powerful, and the games are going to get more detailed, man. So yeah, which requires a lot of CPU and GPU and RAM to bring out all that detail. So yeah, the game industry is going to continue to grow, man. But other than that, man, I would say well done to them. You know, it was to me. You know what? To me, it's like it was their turn to carry the game industry. Because Sega tried, Nintendo tried, Sony tried, and now it's Microsoft's turn. So, to me, it was their turn, you know, to carry the game industry. Other than that, the game industry moves on. Anyway, I'm gonna lay this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars and Star Trek fan, or Dark Side. Peace.